Today is June 13th, 2025. This is Read Through the Bible.
Hi, everyone.
And we're back in the book of Deuteronomy. And as you remember yesterday, we talked about how Deuteronomy is the second law. And Moses begins in his 40th year, the final year of wanderings, right, in his final year of life when he's 120 years old.
Just before they're going to go into the promised land.
He gives his final sermons to shepherd the people. And he begins here by telling Israel of their history. He says, remember your history. And we looked at yesterday in Deuteronomy chapter 1, remember your rebellion at Kadesh Barnea, Numbers 13 and 14. And he's going to go on to speak about what took place as they were wandering. So here we go. Chapter 2, verse 1. Then we turned and journeyed into the wilderness in the direction of the Red Sea, as the Lord told me. And for many days we traveled around Mount Seir. Then the Lord said to me, you've been traveling around this mountain country long enough. Turn northward and command the people. You are about to pass through the territory of your brothers, the people of Esau, who live in Seir, and they will be afraid of you, so be very careful. Do not contend with them, for I will not give you any of their land. No, not so much as for the sole of the foot to tread on, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau as a possession. You shall purchase food from them with money, that you may eat, and you shall also buy water from them with money, that you may drink. For the Lord your God has blessed you in the work of your hands. He knows you're going through this great wilderness, these 40 years. The Lord your God has been with you. You have lacked nothing. So he went on, away from our brothers, the people of Esau who live in Seir, away from the Arabah road from Elath to Ezion-Geber.
Middle of verse 8. And we turned and went in the direction of the wilderness of Moab. And the Lord said to me, do not harass Moab or contend with them in battle. For I will not give you any of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar to the people of Lot for a possession. So God's telling him to go through the land of Esau and now the land of Moab and not fight with them for the land.
It's interesting that God is the one who apportions the land.
Yeah.
He's apportioning this land of Canaan to them, but not the Mount Seir, or not where Moab is.
Yeah.
But he's going to figure out this is Israel, the land where they're going to take.
Right. Okay, so verse 10, the Emim formerly lived there, a people great and many, and tall as the Anakim. Like the Anakim, they are also counted as Rephaim, but the Moabites called them Emim. The Horites also lived in Seir formerly, but the people of Esau dispossessed them and destroyed them from before them and settled in their place, as Israel did to the land of their possession, which the Lord gave to them.
That's in parentheses.
Right, so that was 10 to 12.
Just talking about who was in Moab before then, who was in Seir before they were dispossessed by these people.
Right, okay. Now, rise up and go over the brook Zered. So we went over the brook Zered. And the time from our leaving Kadesh Barnea until we crossed the brook Zered was 38 years, until the entire generation, that is the men of war, had perished from the camp as the Lord had sworn to them. So I think that's a big verse right there, verse 14. Just kind of like Numbers 14. Just talking about how it had been 38 years of wandering.
And in 38 years, that first generation had died off.
Right.
And then the next generation had been raised up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, verse 15. For indeed the hand of the Lord was against them to destroy them from the camp until they had perished.
So as soon as all the men of war had perished and were dead from among the people, the Lord said to me, today you are to cross the border of Moab at Ar. And when you approach the territory of the people of Ammon, do not harass them or contend with them, for I will not give you any of the land of the people of Ammon as a possession, because I have given it to the sons of Lot for possession. It is also counted as a land of Rephaim. Rephaim formerly lived there, but the Ammonites call them Zamzumim, a people great and many, as tall as the Anakim. But the Lord destroyed them before the Ammonites, and they dispossessed them and settled in their place, as he did for the people of Esau, who live in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites before them, and they dispossessed them and settled in their place even to this day. As for the Avim, who lived in villages as far as Gaza. That's the same Gaza today. Yeah. The Caphtorim, who came from Caphtor, destroyed them and settled in their place. Close parentheses.
That was another parentheses, same kind of thing.
Yep, to describe the people who were dispossessed from the lands. Yeah. Okay? So, verse 24, rise up, set out on your journey, and go over the valley of the Arnon. Behold, I have given into your hand Sihon, the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to take possession and contend with him in battle. So how different this is. It says you pass through the land of Seir, you pass through the land of Moab, and you pass through the land of Ammon. But when you come to the Amorite, the king of Heshbon, Sihon, you contend with him in battle. So you fight with this man. And this is just straight across the Jordan. On the east side of the Jordan is where this is, where Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh are going to inherit. But they're going to take that over first. This day, I will begin to put the dread and fear of you on the peoples who are under the whole heaven, who shall hear the report of you and shall tremble and be in anguish before you. Right? And we see that in Joshua chapter 2 with Rahab, and the people were in fear of. And they're in fear right here because I'm going to put the dread and fear of you on the peoples because you're going to conquer Sihon, king of Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, and just utterly smash them.
Right. Okay, verse 26. So I sent messengers from the wilderness of Kedemoth to Sihon, the king of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying, let me pass through your land. I will go only by the road. I will turn aside neither to the right nor to the left. You shall sell me food for money that I may eat, and give me water for money that I may drink. Only let me pass through on foot, as the sons of Esau who live in Seir and the Moabites who live in Ar did for me, until I go over the Jordan into the land that the Lord God is giving to us. But Sihon, the king of Heshbon, would not let us pass by him. For the Lord your God hardened his spirit and made his heart obstinate, that he might give him into your hand, as he is this day.
This is so much like Pharaoh.
Yeah.
In terms of even let my people go, let us pass through, and he said, no, you cannot pass through. So the people of Israel are going to fight. In Exodus, right, when Pharaoh's heart was hardened, he said no, then the plagues were able to come. And here the people are going to be able to fight because this day God will begin to put the dread and fear of you and the peoples, right, under all of heaven. So like they had to harden their hearts to fight in order to have the fear of the people of Israel put in the people of the land.
Right. So 31. And the Lord said to me, behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land over to you. Begin to take possession, that you may occupy his land. Then Sihon came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Jahaz. And the Lord our God gave him over to us, and we defeated him and his sons and all his people. And we captured all his cities at that time and devoted to destruction every city, men, women, and children. We left no survivors. Only the livestock we took as spoil for ourselves with the plunder of the cities that we captured. From Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and from the city that is in the valley, as far as Gilead, there was not a city too high for us. The Lord our God gave all into our hands. Only to the land of the sons of Ammon you did not draw back. That is, to all the banks of the river Jabbok, and the cities of the hill country, whatever the Lord our God had forbidden us.
Okay, so if you're looking to summarize this chapter, like we're encouraging you to do every single time, here just Moses accounts how they passed through Esau, Moab, and Ammon, and how then they defeated Sihon, king of Heshbon. Okay, and then we're continuing on. Now we're going to see similar thing with Og, king of Bashan. And then we turned and went up the way to Bashan. So Bashan was north of Sihon. And Og, king of Bashan, came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. But the Lord said to me, do not fear him, for I have given him and all the people of his land into your hand. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who lived at Heshbon. So the Lord our God gave into our hand Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people, and we struck him down until he had no survivor left. And we took all his cities at that time. There was not a city that we did not take from them. 60 cities, the whole region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan, All these were cities fortified with high walls, gates, and bars, besides many unwalled villages. And we devoted them to destruction, as we did to Sihon, king of Heshbon, devoting to destruction every city, men, women, and children. But all the livestock and the spoil of the cities we took as our plunder. So we took the land at the time out of the hand of the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon. The Sidonians call Hermon Sirion, while the Amorites call it Senir. Small fact. And the cities of the tableland, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, as far as Salakah and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. For only Og, the king of Bashan, was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. Behold, his bed was a bed of iron. Is it not in Rabbah of the Ammonites? 9 cubits was his breadth, and 4 cubits was length, and 4 cubits was his breadth, according to the common cubit.
That's the measurement of his bed?
Yeah, his bed goes in the museum. Yep.
So those are two, that's one verse that is a parentheses.
Yep.
Okay. Verse 12. When we took possession of this land at that time, I gave to the Reubenites and the Gadites the territory beginning at Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and half the hill country of Gilead with its cities. The rest of Gilead and all Bashan, the kingdom of Og, that is all the region of Argob, I gave to the half-tribe of Manasseh. All that the portion of Bashan is called the land of Rephaim. Jair, the Manassite, took all the region of Argob, that is Bashan, as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and called the villages after his name Havoth Jair, as it is to this day. To Machir I gave Gilead, and to the Reubenites and the Gadites I gave the territory from Gilead as far as the valley of the Arnon, with the middle of the valley as a border, as far over as the river Jabbok, the border of the Ammonites. The Arabah also, with the Jordan as the border, from Chinneroth as far as the sea of the Arabah, the Salt Sea. So Chinneroth would be Sea of Galilee, and the Salt Sea is the Dead Sea, right? Okay. Yep. Under the slopes of Pisgah on the east.
Okay, so this is talking about Og and Sihon and Og. Sihon, king of Heshbon, Og, king of Bashan.
Their land.
That's on the east side of the Jordan, and they gave that to Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh. Like, we've covered this in the book of Numbers.
Yeah.
And I commanded you at that time, saying, the Lord your God has given you all this land to possess. All your men of valor shall cross over armed for your brothers, the people of Israel. Only your wives, your little ones, and your livestock, I know that you have much livestock, shall remain in the cities I've given you, until the Lord gives you rest to your brothers as to you, and they also occupy the land that the Lord your God gives them beyond the Jordan. Then each of you may return to his possession, which I have given you. And I commanded Joshua at this time, your eyes have seen all that the Lord your God has done to these 2 kings. So will the Lord do to all the kingdoms into which you are crossing. You shall not fear them, for it is the Lord your God who fights for you. So like this is the model. Like they totally wiped out people from the eastern side, and totally you should do that on the western side. It didn't quite go like that, but this is what you should have done. And as they wiped all these people out on the east, it put fear and dread in the people in the west of the Jordan, like, oh man, this is a powerful army.
Okay, verse 23. And I pleaded with the Lord that time, saying, O Lord God, you have only begun to show your servant your greatness and your mighty hand. For what God is there in heaven or on earth who can do such mighty or such works and mighty acts as yours? Please let me go over.
Please.
He's asking again. Moses really wants to go. He says, please let me go over and see the good land beyond the Jordan, that good hill country and Lebanon. But the Lord was angry with me because of you.
Numbers 20, that bad chapter.
Yes. And would not listen to me. And the Lord said to me, enough from you. Enough out of you. Do not speak to me or of this matter again. Oof. Wow. Go up to the top of Pisgah and lift up your eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward and look at it with your eyes, for you shall not go over to this Jordan. So God is telling him, you can go see it. But charge Joshua and encourage and strengthen him, for he shall go over at the head of this people, and he shall put them in possession of the land that you shall see. So we remained in the valley opposite Beth Peor.
Okay. So this is Moses again recounting the striking down of Og, king of Bashan, and giving the land to Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh.
East of the Jordan.
And Moses gets to see the land.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.